Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Par Ashtadhara Shrimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Par Ashtadhara Shrimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Par Ashtadhara Shrimad Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Par Ashtadhara Shrimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Vishnu-Bhāgavatam Srila Gokshara Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitil Vishnu Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupana Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Dashagunath Shar Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramananda Rishi Gopashad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishya Bharata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radhakun Shamakun ki jai. Shri Mona Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yam pravrajantam anupetam apeta krityam dvaipayano virahakatara ajuhavo putreti tanmayataya taravo bhinedu sangsarva bhuta hridaya munimanatosmi. Narayanam namaskrityam narang chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Shrinvatang Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Ridantasto Yabadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam Nashta Prayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Tavai vasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya radhe tvam nayamam charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptashtakamaditarangamatte kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Dandavat Pranams, Shri Mataji, and whoever else is watching. So today is going to be a short reading because for one thing, Indira Mataji isn't She isn't able to join today, and I don't want to get too much of ahead of her because then then it will be difficult for her to catch up. And also, I have a lot to do today, so I'm just giving a little recap of what we read yesterday. I'm just going to read from this book, which summarizes everything nicely. Okay, so yesterday, what did we read yesterday? What did we end up with? So after enjoying on the aerial mansion, the flying aerial mansion, and going to many different planets in the universe, and then they returned back to Kardama Muni returned to his hermitage, and then they united and gave and Devahuti gave birth to 9 daughters. And then so her husband, in the beginning, her husband Kardama Muni made the promise, not the promise, anyways, he said that after you give birth to your sons and daughters, then I will leave for for performing I'll leave home and then engage myself just in performing austerity like before, in worshiping the Lord. And so then he did that. And so as he was leaving Devahuti, she requested him to bestow fearlessness. And she laments for not utilizing her husband's association for developing knowledge of the Lord. Then Kardama, he responded to her. He said, remembering the words of Vishnu. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to read from the book. Remembering the words of Vishnu, Kardama replied back to Devahuti, who was speaking words full of renunciation. He said, "Do not be disappointed with yourself. You are actually praiseworthy. The infallible Lord will shortly enter your womb as your son. Previously, you have undertaken sacred vows. God will bless you. Now faithfully worship the Lord with regulation, sense control, austerity, and charity. Pleased by your worship, the Lord will spread my glory. Pleased by your worship, the Lord will spread my glories. He will cut the knot of attachment in your heart by becoming your son and teaching the knowledge of Brahma." Then there's the appearance of Lord Kapila. With full faith on those directions, Devahuti worshipped the Lord with great respect. After many years, the Lord, who is like fire and wood, having entered the semen of Kardama, made his appearance. Demigods in the clouds played instruments. The Gandharvas sang his glories. The Apsaras danced in joy. The demigods showered flowers, and all the directions, waters, and mines became satisfied. Brahma, along with Marichi and other sages, arrived at that place. Brahma, understanding about the Lord's appearance, worshipped him and addressed the couple as follows. That's where we ended off with. Now Brahma's addressing the couple. Okay. Oops. Brahmo vacha tvaya me pachit. Oh wait, is my screen sharing? Just making sure. Yes, it is. Okay. Tvaya me pachitista tata kalpita nirvyala likyata yan me sanja grihe vakyam bhavan manadamanayan. Lord Brahma said, "My dear son Kardama, since you have completely accepted my instructions without duplicity, showing them proper respect, you have worshipped me properly. Whatever instructions you took from me, you have carried out, and thereby you have honored me." Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma, as the first living entity within the universe, is supposed to be the spiritual master of everyone. And he is also the father, the creator of all beings. Kardama Muni is one of the Prajapatis, or creators of the living entities, and he is also a son of Brahma. Brahma praises Kardama because he carried out the orders of the spiritual master in toto and without cheating. A conditioned soul in the material world has the disqualification of cheating. He has 4 disqualifications. He is sure to commit mistakes, Brahma. He is sure to be illusioned, Mada, I think. He is prone to cheat others, Pramad. And his senses are imperfect, Vipralipsa. Those are the 4 defects of human beings. Illusions, prone to cheat. We make mistakes, we're illusioned, we are prone to cheat others, and our senses are not perfect. But if one carries out the order of the spiritual master by disciplic succession or the parampara system, he overcomes the 4 defects. Therefore, knowledge received from the bona fide spiritual master is not cheating. Any other knowledge which is manufactured by the conditioned soul is cheating only. Brahma knew well that Kardama Muni exactly carried out the instructions received from him and that he actually honored his spiritual master. To honor the spiritual master means to carry out his instructions word for word. Etavatteva shushrusha karyapitari putrakai Bhadamityanumanyeta Gauravena Gururvacha. Sons ought to render service to their father exactly to this extent. One should obey the command of his father or the spiritual master with due difference, saying, "Yes, sir." Purport. The words in this verse are very important. One word is pitari and another word is guru. The son or disciple should accept the words of a spiritual master and father without hesitation. Whatever the father and the spiritual master order should be taken without argument. Yes. There should be no instance in which the disciple or the son says, "This is not correct. I cannot carry it out." When he says that, he is fallen. The father and the spiritual master are on the same platform because the spiritual master is the second father. The higher classes are called dvija, twice born. Whenever there is a question of birth, there must be a father. The first birth is made possible by the actual father, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual master. Sometimes the father and the spiritual master may be the same man, and sometimes they are different men. In any case, the order of the father or the order of the spiritual master must be carried out without hesitation, with an immediate yes. There should be no argument. That is real service to the father and to the spiritual master. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has stated that the order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciples. As a man cannot separate his life from his body, a disciple cannot separate the order of the spiritual master from his life. If a disciple follows the instruction of the spiritual master in that way, he is sure to become perfect. I like this. Okay. This is confirmed in the Upanishads. The import of the Vedic instruction is revealed automatically only to one who has implicit faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and in his spiritual master. One may be materially considered an illiterate man. What verse is this? Shoot. Anyways, I just want to see what verse this is. 13. Okay. Sorry. Okay. This is confirmed. One may be materially considered an illiterate man, but if he has faith in the spiritual master as well as in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the meaning of the scriptural revelation is immediately manifested before him. Imatara satyastava vatsa sumadhyama sargametam prabhavaisvar brihayishyantane kada. Lord Brahma then praised Kardama Muni's 9 daughters, saying, "All your thin-waisted daughters are certainly very chaste. I am sure they will increase this creation by their own descendants in various ways." Purport. In the beginning of creation, Brahma was concerned more or less with increasing the population, and when he saw that Kardama Muni had already begotten 9 daughters, he was hopeful that through the daughters many children will come who would take charge of the creative principle of the material world. He was therefore happy to see them. The word sumadhyama means a good daughter of a beautiful woman. If she has a thin waist, a woman is considered very beautiful. All the daughters of Kardama Muni were of the same beautiful feature. Atastvam rishimukhe vibhyo yata shilam yata ruchi atmaja paridehyatya vistrinihi yasho bhuvi. Therefore, today please give away your daughters to the foremost of the sages, with due regard for the girls' temperaments and likings, and thereby spread your fame all over the universe. The 9 principal rishis or sages are Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratu, Bhrigu, Vaishishta, and Artava. All these rishis are most important, and Brahma desired that the 9 daughters already born of Kardama Muni be handed over to them. Here 2 words are used very significantly, Yata Shilam and Yata Ruchi. The daughters should be handed over to the respective rishis, not blindly, but according to the combination of character and taste. That is the art of combining a man and a woman. Man and woman should not be united simply on the consideration of sex life. There are many other considerations, especially character and taste. If the taste and character differ between the man and the woman, their combination will be unhappy. Even about 40 years ago, in Indian marriages, the taste and character of the boy and girl were first of all matched, and then they were allowed to marry. This was done under the direction of the respective parents. The parents used to astrologically determine the character and taste of the boy and girl, and when they corresponded, the match was selected. This girl and this boy are just suitable, and they should be married. Other considerations were less important. The same system was also advised in the beginning of the creation by Brahma. Your daughters should be handed over to the rishis according to taste and character. According to astrological calculation, a person is classified according to whether he belongs to the godly or demoniac quality. In that way, the spouse was selected. A girl of godly quality should be handed over to a boy of godly quality. A girl of demoniac quality should be handed over to a boy of demoniac quality. Who's going to say that their daughter is demoniac? Then they will be happy. But if the girl is demoniac and the boy is godly, then the combination is incompatible. They cannot be happy in such a marriage. At the present moment, because boys and girls are not married according to the quality of character, most marriages are unhappy and there is divorce. It is foretold in the My daughter is demoniac and your son is demoniac, so I think they'd be a perfect match. Okay. It is foretold in the 12th canto of the Bhagavatam that in this age of Kali, married life will be accepted on the consideration of sex only. The boy and girl are pleased in sex. They get married. And then there's deficiency in sex. And when there's deficiency in sex, they separate. That is not actual marriage, but a combination of men and women like cats and dogs. Therefore, the children produced in the modern age are not exactly human beings. Human beings must be twice born. A child is first born of a good father and mother, and then he is born again of the spiritual master and the Vedas. The first mother and father bring about his birth into the world. Then the spiritual master and the Vedas become his second father and mother. According to the Vedic system of marriage for producing children, every man and woman was enlightened in spiritual knowledge. And at the time of their combination to produce a child, everything was scrutinizingly and scientifically done. Vedaham adam purusham avatirnam samayaya bhutanam shevadhim deham bibhranam kapilam mune. O Kardama, I know that the original Supreme Personality of Godhead has now appeared as an incarnation by his internal energy. He is the bestower of all desired by the living entities, and he has now assumed the body of Kapila Muni. Purport. In this verse, we find the words Purusham Avatirnam Swamayaya. The Supreme Personality is everlastingly, eternally the form of Purush, the predominator or enjoyer. And when he appears, he never accepts anything of this material energy. The spiritual world is a manifestation of his personal internal potency, whereas the material world is a manifestation of his material or differentiated energy. The word Swamayaya, by his own internal potency, indicates that whenever the Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, he comes in his own energy. He may assume the body of a human being, but that body is not material. In Bhagavad Gita, therefore, it is clearly stated that only fools and rascals, mudas, consider the body of Krishna to be the body of a common human being. The word Shevadhim means that he is the original bestower of all the necessities of life upon the living entities. In the Vedas also, it is stated that he is the chief living entity and that he bestows all the desired necessities of other living entities. Because he is the bestower of the necessities of all others, he is called God. The Supreme is also a living entity. He is not impersonal. As we are individual, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also individual, but he is the supreme individual. That is the difference between God and the ordinary living entities. Just making sure everything's working all right. Looks like it. Okay, cool. Jnana vijnana yogena karmanamudharanjata hiranyakesha parmaksha parmamudra padam bhuja. One second, I just need to blow my nose. Okay, thanks for waiting. By mystic yoga and the practical application of knowledge from the scriptures, Kapila Muni, who is characterized by his golden hair, his eyes just like lotus petals, and his lotus feet, which bear the marks of lotus flowers, will uproot the deep-rooted desire for work in this material world. Purport. In this verse, the activities and bodily features of Kapila Muni are very nicely described. The activities of Kapila Muni are forecast herein. He presents the philosophy of Sankhya in such a way that by studying his philosophy, people will be able to uproot the deep-rooted desires for karma, fruit of activities. Everyone in this material world engages in achieving the fruits of his labor. A man tries to be happy by achieving the fruits of his own honest labor, but actually he becomes more and more entangled. One cannot get out of this entanglement unless he has perfect knowledge or devotional service. Those who are trying to get out of the entanglement by speculation are also doing their best. But in the Vedic scriptures, we find that if one is taken to the devotional service of the Lord and Krishna consciousness, he can very easily uproot the deep-rooted desire for fruitive activities. Sankhya philosophy will be broadcast by Kapila Muni for that purpose. His bodily features are also described herein. Gyan does not refer to ordinary research work. Gyan entails receiving knowledge from the scriptures through the spiritual master by disciplic succession. In the modern age, there is a tendency to do research by mental speculation and concoction. But the man who speculates forgets that he himself is subject to the four defects of nature. What we just read before. Brahma, Pramad, Vipralipsa, and Karana. Brahma, he is sure to commit mistakes. Pramad. No, oops, it's in a different order this time. His senses are imperfect. Karnapatav. He is sure to fall into illusion. Brahma, Pramad, Vipralipsa. Okay. Whatever. Pramad, he is sure to fall into illusion. And Vipralipsa, and he is cheating. Unless one has perfect knowledge from disciplic succession, he simply puts forth some theories of his own creation. Therefore, he is cheating people. Gyan means knowledge received through disciplic succession from the scriptures, and Vigyan means practical application of such knowledge. Kapila Muni's Sankhya system of philosophy is based on Gyan and Vigyan. The knowledge and the practical application of that knowledge, the realization of the knowledge. Esha manavite garbham pravishta kaitavardhana avidya sanshaya granthim chitva gam vicharishyati. Lord Brahma then told Devahuti, my dear daughter of Manu, the same Supreme Personality of Godhead who killed the demon Kaitava is now within your womb. He will cut off all the knots of your ignorance and doubt. Then he will travel all over the world. Purport. Here the word avidya is very significant. Avidya means forgetfulness of one's identity. Every one of us is a spirit soul, but we have forgotten. We think, I am this body. This is called avidya. Samshaya Granthi means doubtfulness. The knot of doubtfulness is and Granthi means knot. So it means the knot of doubtfulness. The knot of doubtfulness is tied when the soul identifies with the material world. That knot is also called ahankar, the junction of matter and spirit. By proper knowledge received from the scriptures in disciplic succession, and by proper application of that knowledge, one can free himself from this binding combination of matter and spirit. Brahma assures Devahuti that her son will enlighten her, and after enlightening her, he will travel all over the world, distributing the system of Sankhya philosophy. The word Samshaya means doubtful knowledge. Speculative and pseudo-yogic knowledge is all doubtful. At the present moment, the so-called yoga system is prosecuted on the understanding that by agitation of different situations of the bodily constructions, one can find that he is God. The mental speculators think similarly, but they are all doubtful. Real knowledge is expounded in Bhagavad Gita. Just become Krishna conscious. Just worship Krishna and become a devotee of Krishna. That is real knowledge, and anyone who follows that system becomes perfect without a doubt. I am Siddha Ganadhisha Sankhyacharyai Susamata Loke Kapila Ittakyam Gantate Kirtivardhana. Your son will be the head of all the perfected souls. He will be approved by the acharyas expert in disseminating real knowledge. And among the people, he will be celebrated by the name Kapila. As the son of Devahuti, he will increase your fame. Purport. Sankhya philosophy is a philosophical system enunciated by Kapila, the son of Devahuti. The other Kapila, who is not the son of Devahuti, is an imitation. This is a statement of Brahma, and because we belong to Brahma's disciplic succession, we should accept his statement that the real Kapila is the son of Devahuti, and that the real Sankhya philosophy is a system of philosophy which he introduced and which will be accepted by the acharyas, the disciples of spiritual discipline. The word susamata means accepted by persons who are counted among. Accepted by persons who are counted upon to give their good opinion. Maitreya uvacha Tavashvasya jagatshashta kumarai sahanarada hangsa hangsena yanena tridhama paramam yayo. Sri Maitreya said, after thus speaking to Kardama Muni and his wife Devahuti, Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, who is also known as Hangsa, went back to the highest of the three planetary systems on his swan carrier with the four Kumaras and Narad. Purport. The words Hangsena Yanena are very significant here. Hangsa Yan, the airplane by which Brahma travels all over outer space, resembles a swan. Brahma is also known as Hangsa because he can grasp the essence of everything. His abode is called Tridhama Paramam. There are three divisions of the universe: the upper planetary system, the middle planetary system, and the lower planetary system. But his abode is above even Siddhaloka, or the upper planetary system. He returned to his own planet with the four Kumaras and Narad because they were not going to be married. The other rishis who came with him, such as Marichi and Atri, remained there because they were to be married to the daughters of Kardama. But his other sons, Sanat, Sanatan, Sanandana, and Narad, switched the order. They went back with him in his swan-shaped airplane. The four Kumaras and Narad are Naishtika Brahmacharis. Naishtika Brahmachari refers to one who never wastes his semen at any time. They were not to attend the marriage ceremony of their other brothers, Marichi and the other sages, and therefore they went back with their father, Hangsa. Okay. Okay. Gate shata drito kshata kardamastena chodita yatoditam sadhuthetri pradhad vishvasrijam tata. O Vidura, after the departure of Brahma, Kardama Muni, having been ordered by Brahma, handed over his 9 daughters as instructed to the 9 great sages who created the population of the world. Is there a line missing? Yes, there's a line missing. I gotta open up my book. 1 second. 22, 23. And we're almost finished, by the way. I think we're finishing with text 25, and there's no purports anymore. Okay. Marichaye kalam pradad anasuyam atatraye shradham angirase yachat pulastyaya havirbhuvam pulahaya gatim yuktam kratave cha kriyam satim kyatim cha brikave yachat Vashishtaya Peruntatim. Kardama Muni handed over his daughter Kala to Marichi and another daughter Anasuya to Atri. He delivered Shraddha to Angira and Havirbhu to Pulastya. He delivered Gati to Pulaha, the chaste Kriya to Kratu, Kyati to Brigu, and Arundhati to Vashishta. Atarvane tadashantim yaya yagyo vitanyate viprashabham kritodvahan sadaran samalalayat. He delivered Shanti to Atarva. Because of Shanti, sacrificial ceremonies are well performed. Thus he got the foremost Brahmins married and maintained them along with their wives. Wait, who? Okay, Kardama Muni, he handed over his daughter to all these people. Yes, okay. Tatasta rishayakshata kritadara nimantriyatam pratishtanantim apana swam swam ashrama mandalam. Thus married, the sages took leave of Kardama and departed full of joy, each for his own hermitage, O Vidura. And then, we start this tomorrow. When Kardama Muni understood that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the chief of all the demigods, Vishnu, had descended, Kardama approached him in a secluded place, offered obeisances, and spoke as follows. Okay, I'll read the Sanskrit also. Sachavatirnam triyugam agyaya vibudarshabam vivikta upasangamya pranamya samabhashata. Okay, I'll just read. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to read this. I'll start from here tomorrow. When Kardama, yeah. All right. So yeah, today is a short reading. We're finishing 10 minutes early. And tomorrow, we will read about what happens tomorrow. Let me just see really quickly. So, Kardama Muni's prayers to Lord Kapila. Then, Kapila's response to Kardama. I appear to fulfill my promise to you to explain the principles of self-realization and to revive the knowledge of Sankhya. Go as you desire and worship me. You will achieve eternal life. And then it describes Kardama's renunciation and attainment of the kingdom of Godhead. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Guru Brahma Gandharva Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishnu Vishnubar Ashtatara Shata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shila Gurudeva ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishnu Vishnubar Ashtatara Shata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishnu Vishnubar Ashtatara Shata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishnu Vishnubar Ashtatara Shata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishnu Vishnubar Ashtatara Shata Shishmad Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishnu Mahabhagavat Shila Goksharas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishnu Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Nitilapa Vishnu Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadasha Gunath Shar Gosai Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Braja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Sarva Abhishya Bharata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund ki jai, Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsidevai Priyai Keshavascha Krishna Bhakti Paradevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams. See you all tomorrow. Hari Bo.